Okay, this is the third batch. I recorded myself doing the second batch, but the camera shut off because of the heat. At least that's what it said. But it's not really that hot out. These GoPros are really... The camera just shut off again. I was going to say that the GoPros are really fussy, but I may not be able to even finish this because this GoPro just keeps shutting off every couple minutes. Okay, we'll see if we can get this done. I have this robin giving me a hard time because I'm disturbing her nest again. Okay, here we go. You gotta pump this backpack sprayer up, and we are shooting for 100% coverage. We're not going to get it, of course, but that's what we're trying for. I'm hoping next year to have an electrostatic sprayer. I'm going to make my own. I wanted to do it this last winter, but we built the wood shop and we're still building the wood shop, so we may not have the sprayer next year either, but gonna have it sooner or later. What the electrostatic sprayer does is, let me see if I remember how that works. The vine has one type of a charge, I can't remember if it's positive or negative, and your spray has the opposite. And the spray is blown out in a real fine mist, and what that does is the vine attracts the spray and it gives it 100% or nearly 100% coverage. The spray will wrap around the leaves and attach themselves like to the back and stuff. It's kind of like powder coating for metal and stuff. When I'm done here, I need to spray 3 vines up by the house and my apple and cherry trees as well, but I won't put that in this video. Normally, I can get a little over 2 rows done with 1 tank. And today I'm getting about 1 3/4, and that's because I'm spraying it so heavy. This is by far the worst time of year for disease, so I want this stuff really well covered. And I forgot to mention in the last video where I was cutting out the disease in here, that spray, or the spray I did right before that, about 10 days before that, but it was the spray right before that, I sprayed. There was no chance of rain in the forecast for like 6 days or something like that. So I sprayed, and then 2 hours later it rained. It only rained for a few minutes, but that could have washed off the majority of the spray. I don't think it was set yet, so that may be why I had such a heavy disease load in the vineyard yesterday. The vast majority of that stuff's gone now, and hopefully this spray right here will protect it from getting another disease load like that. I think the vines are going to be just fine after this spray. I believe we have 2 more sprays this year, and that'll be it. Possibly 3, but I do believe it's only going to be 2 more. The next spray is going to be early August, and we're going to have hot weather right after that. And that'll be the same as this spray. It'll be Mancozeb and Eagle. And then all of the sprays after that are going to be just Captain. Captain is safe to spray, pretty much right up to harvest time, just before harvest time. And Mancozeb, you have to stop spraying that about 6 weeks before harvest. And early August is about 6 weeks before harvest. As I was spraying this earlier and thinking about that rain washing off my spray the other time, I thought about my spray of insecticide to get rid of these Japanese beetles. That is basically just water to these vines, and I'm going to be doing that within the window that this needs to dry. So what I'm going to do is add some mancozeb and myclobutanol, the Eagle, to that spray so that any of this spray that it washes off will be replaced with the exact same thing. Not sure how well you're going to hear this, but I'm supposed to be pumping this backpack sprayer the entire time. I actually stop once in a while just because you kind of get interested in what you're doing, and I can't walk and chew gum at the same time sometimes. And again, with this spray, I'm shooting for 100% coverage, so I'm not like going at any set pace. If I see more that I need to cover, I'll slow down and try to get it covered before moving on. And every once in a while, gotta shake her up. Approaching the end of the row. There should be enough spray for this next row as well, but I have that starter row, and like I said, the trees and the vines up by the house, but I don't think I'll have to mix up a whole batch for that. Hopefully it's just a half a batch. These damn chemicals are getting so expensive these days because of the crazy Bidenomics. Okay, let's get this row done. I did a much better job on these last couple rows of removing the disease than I did on the first couple rows. So I'm probably going to go back and just do a little bit more disease removal in the front two rows. I don't think it should take much more than an hour to get through the whole thing. But I definitely want to stop the majority of the disease in the vineyard right in its tracks. When I'm out taking my walks, walking the dog and such, I can see fungus on a lot of the native stuff as well. And some pretty bad disease on the grapes, the wild grapes growing around here. This is just a really bad year for heat and humidity. You can see now why you really need to remove a lot of this side stuff so you can get in there and get almost every leaf. If you don't do that, you're going to have disease all over the place. All right, her nest is right there. So we're going to work our way around it. She's going to be a little bit upset. All right, We don't spray right above the nest, but we work our way around it. This wouldn't harm the babies anyways, or the mother, but they don't need to get wet. Oh, stop it. The reason I didn't take this one off, this sickly looking one right here, is because it's a replacement cordon. I should have tied that down yesterday, and I did bring ties, so I can tie it down today, but I probably won't. I'm sure I'll forget. I do have 3 sprays to do today, and that's going to take most of the day. The ground I'm walking on right here is quite steep. This last row right here is a bit difficult, but it's not that bad. Doesn't seem like we have a whole lot left in the tank. I may need another full tank. I have the other side of this row and starter plants, and then all that stuff up by the house, so I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. But these sprayers sometimes surprise you. Seems like it's almost out, but you may get a half a row out of it. All right. Yeah, I got this stuff to do as well. A lot of stuff in here to kill. Hopefully that doesn't take too long. 2 tanks should take an hour and a half. 2 2-gallon tanks. And it takes that long because you're doing detail work. This stuff takes, I believe, 20 minutes for a tank, and it's 4 gallons. Might take a half hour. I'll time the next, oh, I can't time the next one because I'll be moving out of the vineyard and up into the yard up there, so it wouldn't be a real good time. Right about this time of year, the leaves all start turning purpley colored like that. It's pulling back the potassium for the berries. And as I stated in my last video, I'll be fertilizing I'll be fertilizing tomorrow unless something happens. And when I do that, I'll be mixing it and broadcast fertilizing it. I believe I'm going to have to do that by hand. Should be kind of interesting. Usually I use the pull behind spreader in the vineyard, but I'm not going to do that this year. I need to apply it in a target fashion. I need to get the vast majority of the fertilizer right in the rows and not on the grass in the aisles. Yeah, you could still see a good amount of disease on this one, and again, that's because these need to be attached to the wire. I can't just cut that stuff off. So what I want to do is just stop whatever disease is there. So what I want to do is just stop the disease that's there. If any of you people out there know anything about electrostatic sprayers, make sure you comment below. I've read up on them, but it's really hard to find parts for them, especially a pre-made electrostatic spray head. I'm sure I can make my own, but if I can just buy one, it'll save a lot of time. I am nearly out and a little more than halfway in this row. Yeah, you got to slow down to a crawl when you're almost out because it doesn't spray as much. And if you want full coverage, you really have to slow down. Look at all of those Japanese beetles flying off. I do believe that if I kill them this one last time, that they're not going to be back, at least not in any significant numbers. There should only be just a few. When I killed them last time, it took a couple weeks before I seen any back in the vineyard. And this time, it's going to be late in the year, and I don't think they'll be back at all, but might be a few of them. What I'm trying to do is keep the population down. There's a vineyard just up the river here that pretty much got decimated by Japanese beetles when the infestation first started. Pretty much stripped his vines down to nothing. He had no idea what to do, and it just tore his vineyard apart. We don't want that happening here. Unbelievable. I'm almost at the end of the row. Like I said, it can surprise you. It feels like it's almost gone, but it just keeps on going. I'm going really slow now. But when it stops, it just stops dead. And it feels like it's about to do that. There it goes. Dead as a doornail. So usually I put a marker on the ground, my pocket knife, but we're right on the center of the second last vine. So I think I'll mix up 2 gallons. We'll get this little bit done, the last of the stuff here, and then I'm gonna go do that other stuff and then come back and start spraying the glyphosate on the rows.